Hi, I'm Dr. Greg Castello, board certified family practice, and today we're going to talk about fiber. First of all, let's talk about what types of fiber there are. There's two different types. There's soluble fiber and insoluble fiber, and most of your labels are not going to specifically tell you how much soluble or insoluble, so you have to generalize as to what you're eating. So soluble fibers are those fibers that are found in fruits and beans primarily, so your kidney beans and black beans and baked beans are all going to be soluble fibers. Apples, pears, fruits in general, there's some soluble fiber in nuts as well. Insoluble fibers are primarily going to be found in wheat products and in vegetables, but 90% of the insoluble fiber you're going to find is going to be from wheat products and grains. So the difference between the two, soluble and insoluble: soluble fibers are dissolvable in water, or they are soluble in water. When you eat soluble fiber, it turns into a gelatin basically in your intestine, and soluble fibers are good for absorbing cholesterol. So if I put you on a high fiber diet to lower your cholesterol, we're going to want more soluble fiber. Dieters like soluble fiber because that gelatin sits in your stomach and is making you feel full. It also slows the absorption of sugar and may be helpful for diabetics. The majority of the time when people are taking fiber, it's for bowel regularity and for constipation and for decreasing the chances of diverticulosis and diverticulitis. That's insoluble fiber in grains. So soluble fiber, gelatin and dieting and diabetes and feeling full, and insoluble fiber, constipation, regularity, and preventing diverticulosis. If you start reading labels, some of the breads and other products, yogurts, are actually adding fiber to the ingredients to be a high fiber. So we take a white bread, we put some brown food coloring in it, and now it looks like wheat bread, and then we add some fiber to it, and now it has high fiber, and now we have a high fiber wheat bread, which originally started as a white bread. So there's not whole grains in it, but we kind of manufactured our own wheat bread. The things that they're using to add fiber are cellulose or wood pulp. So we're actually putting wood pulp in bread and foods, and you can actually read that, and it says wood pulp or wood fiber, and that's used as a soluble fiber. That's also used to thicken and make things smooth. So you might find wood pulp in ice cream, not for the fiber content, because it makes the ice cream a little bit smoother, and we can take some of the fat out and put wood pulp in its place. Another common one, or a very common one, is one called inulin, which is a man-made soluble fiber. So when we see fiber in yogurt and things where there's no place for fiber, that's usually inulin. That's a gelatin-like fiber, and that can be poured into yogurt or into any bread or other things and add the fiber content as a soluble fiber. Chicory root is another one. So chicory root is a soluble fiber as well, and this root is ground up into a gelatin and put into food. So your high fiber cereal bars, a lot of times actually the first or second ingredient is going to be chicory root. That's a soluble fiber. It's not bad for you. It's just not a natural ingredient in the food, so sometimes they'll take a shortcut. A good way to know if you've got a healthy food is by how many grams of whole grain are in it. So a cereal may have high fiber, but they don't mention how many grams of whole grain. They've probably added fiber to it, or if it says 18 grams of whole grain, then that started as a healthy, natural, unprocessed wheat, and that's a little bit more healthy for you. So read your labels. We want to have high fiber. The recommendations are 25 to 30 grams, and as I read up for this, they're actually now recommending up to 38 grams of fiber for men and 30 grams of fiber for women. For a child, you want to have age plus 5. So a 5-year-old child should be getting about 10 grams of fiber, and a 10-year-old child should be getting about 15 grams of fiber in their diet. Fiber is good for a lot of different things. Pay attention to what you're trying to accomplish, whether you want to lose weight or control your diabetes or cholesterol, and whether you want to help your bowels or constipation, because the two different types of fiber are very different. In order to get to 25 or 30 grams of fiber, you're never going to do it by ones and twos. You need to find a couple of blockbusters, so something that's got 5 or 10 grams of fiber. So 2 slices of high fiber bread may have 10 grams of fiber. You're a third of the way there by just having toast in the morning. having a bean product, so baked beans for dinner one day and black bean soup the next day and lentils the next day is another good way to add 8 or 10 grams of fiber. Good cereals, Raisin Bran and some of the cashew products have 8 to 12 grams of fiber, so you can have a bowl of cereal in the morning or a bowl of cereal for an evening snack and get another third of your diet. So pick 1 or 2 blockbusters with 8 or 10 grams and then pick up the rest of them in your fruits and vegetables and other sources of fiber to try and get to your 25 to 30 grams of fiber. You want to make sure you drink lots of water with fiber. Fiber can be constipating. It acts like a sponge and holds water, so if you eat a sponge without any water, you're going to have dry sponges and that'll actually bind you up or constipate you. So as a good rule, you want to have about 2 ounces of water for every gram of fiber. So if you have a 10-gram breakfast cereal, then you want to make sure you're drinking 20 ounces of water because you don't have that much milk in your bowl to stay regular and to not be constipated. Dr. Greg Castello, thanks.